Welcome to Big Bother, the only podcast where both hosts categorically condone the actions of Pol Pot.
Condone?
Yeah.
Condone.
Support.
Condemn.
No.
Condemn?
Nope. Condone.
I think the word you're looking for is condemn.
It is not.
Mm-hmm. You know, his name was actually Von Pol Pot, but he had to change it when he was fleeing from the Nazis. That's how we start. Hi, everybody. Welcome to...
So stupid.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Big Bother, the podcast where Mason tells me all about Big Brother, a reality TV show that I have never seen and probably never will. Last week, we covered the creation of the show and the first... fucking thumb down. The creation of the show... Last week we covered the creation of the show and the first season, the rocky first season. And then this week is going to be season 2, and things kind of take off from here because the show changed a little bit.
This is where the format of Big Brother gets changed and sticks. This is where things finally... Also, small correction, that wasn't last week. That was 2 weeks ago. Because last week you texted me an hour before recording and was like...
They don't know when we're recording these.
I'm hungover. And I need to hunt for apartments.
Let me drink my water.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so we're going to hopefully... Last episode. How
about
that?
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't know when we're going to release these. Maybe we never will. Maybe we'll bury it and burn it.
I will not let you. I'm too excited for this.
All right, so all you Big Brother fans, hopefully we can convert you into Big Bother fans, and you're not too bothered by us. So we don't have any sponsors right now, so why waste your time? Mason, let's hear it.
Okay.
What happened in season 2 of Big Brother?
The year is 2001.
Oh, my God.
12 people have been gathered.
America is grieving.
No, not yet. That comes towards the end of the season.
Okay. Okay. So
we'll get to 9/11.
So this is the second worst thing to happen to America.
Starts in July. It's so terrible. Okay. Is July 2001.
Gotcha.
You can get through an airport in 10 seconds. Easy. Take all the liquid you want.
The golden age of airports.
Yeah. Oh, God. Patriot Act's not in place. You can literally just like say bleep that out. Yeah, I have regrets immediately after saying that.
The year is July 2001. You can just talk on the phone with only the person you want to talk to.
Bleep out the thing I said, please. I'm begging you. 12 people have been gathered together. They're going to go into a house week by week. They, not America, they are going to systematically eliminate each other one by one until only 2 remain. Mm-hmm. Then the 10 that got kicked out will reunite and vote on a winner. Okay?
Okay.
Now, we have some very big things happening in the first season. Surprisingly, that will go on to affect the entire rest of the series, like for as long as it's aired. Mm-hmm. This is not necessarily true of other games like Survivor, which Big Brother 2 is based on, the format at least. If you were to watch Survivor season 1 and then watch the current season of Survivor, which is 42 at time of filming, you would see 2 games that don't look a lot alike. Okay, Big Brother, very surprisingly, despite having happen for the same amount of time roughly, only about 1 year of difference, you see a lot of things that look very much the same. The format hasn't changed that much. The same kind of things that happened in the earlier seasons continue to happen later on, mostly because the format has remained relatively unchanged, unlike Survivor.
The biggest change was the audience doesn't vote anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
Now they're still involved in some ways. So you remember I told you during season 1 the competitions, as it were would be challenges that the entire house would partake of, right? And then if you won, you would get extra like food budgets or like luxury prizes.
Right.
And if you lost, you would kind of go hungry for the week. Okay, it's completely changed. Now, as I explained, you elect a head of household by way of competition every week. The head of household picks 2 people, and one gets voted out, one stays in the week after. And there's a lot of interesting things that go into this. This is like the biggest way that it's different than Survivor, despite the format being relatively similar. One thing to note, the head of household and neither nominee can cast a vote, okay?
Yeah.
It's only the remainder of the house that votes one out.
Right.
So you have to be very thoughtful in how you put people up for eviction.
Well, because also you said you can't be the head of the household 2 weeks in a row.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't simply win your way to the end. There will always be weeks where the power is not with you.
Right.
It is with somewhere else. Now, it can be with you in the way that like maybe you win head of household and then your best friend in the house wins head of household.
Sure, you can form alliances. That's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, that's like one of the first big things that happens, actually. So we've got a few interesting people, right? Yeah. First, I want to talk about is probably the most important out of this season. His name is Mike Boogie, Mike Malin. He just goes by the nickname.
Boogie.
Yeah, he goes by his nickname is Boogie. People call him Mike Boogie.
I think Boogie Mike flows a little bit better.
It does, but it was 2001.
Because it sounds like Boogie Nights.
It does. Remember,
and that was a very popular movie.
in the Earth. You're so stupid. From roughly 1989 to 2007, almost everything in pop culture sucked unequivocally. Almost.
Let's see, 2001. Spider-Man.
Okay, that was a good one.
Or was that? Yeah, that was 2001.
Yeah, I said almost. I already qualified this. Okay, don't try and. Almost everything was incredibly whack. So Mike Boogie was like this young bar owner out of, I believe, Cincinnati or Chicago, something like that, like a big like Midwest, like middle American town. And like, he's this like lanky, goofy, like white dude.
Yeah.
Who every time someone gets voted out, he'll like. They play like goodbye messages from the remainder of the house, and he does like little raps where he's like, "My name's Mike Boogie, and I'm here to say I'm sorry that you went home today." It's like almost exactly like that.
This was a popular guy on Big Brother?
Yeah. Can I tell you,
2001.
More than any other contestant in the entire history of the game, Mike Boogie changed the way people have played, talked about, and thought about Big Brother. You cannot overstate his effect on the game, and he played 3 times.
I think he might be the last person, maybe even the first person, to ever do the "This is my name and I'm here to say" rap completely unironically.
Yeah, he might have been.
Wow.
I don't
first
know.
and last. Like,
yeah.
Everyone who does it now does it with a sense of irony.
It's a joke. It's a joke. No, he was doing it like he was in there, writing these raps.
He was
reminding you that he's Mike Boogie, and then he was telling you what he had to say.
So I'm Mike Boogie, and I got fucking bars.
Yes,
I got bars.
Mike
bars.
Boogie does not have bars. I cannot stress that enough. No bars.
So what? Let me ask you this: what was he here to say?
Mostly that I'm sorry that you went home today.
Oh,
it was really a lot of them. A lot of them panned out sort of the same message.
They all ended up rhyming. The last word was always today. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So
home today. Send you away. That's it. I'm out.
You're not Mike Boogie.
I'm out of rhymes that rhyme with day.
You're no Mike Boogie. Okay, don't hold yourself to that standard. He actually wins the first head of household in all of current Big Brother history. Right.
Okay.
He's like the first head of household ever. And there's this woman in the house. Her name is Nicole. When I say she gets under Mike Boogie's skin, it is insane. So Mike Boogie and this other guy in the house named Dr. Will.
Dr. Will.
They're both pretty young guys. They're like around 30 years of age when it starts. They decide fairly early that they're going to be allied in the house. Their alliance is called Chilltown because they're fun-loving bachelor dudes.
Because they're chill.
They're chill. So chill. They're both chill guys. They're chill. They rap. They have things to say.
So as a rapper, Mike Boogie decided Chillville didn't want to work.
No.
Didn't want it too obvious.
No. I think Will might have vetoed that as a board certified dermatologist. He was he couldn't have anything.
No vills. He
No
said
vills.
this isn't the fucking Midwest.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
This is Chill Town.
This is Chill Town.
It's like a suburb of a city. So it's like almost like we're in a city.
Yeah, it's got to be a little upscale, a little nice.
Exactly.
Can't be Chillville. So they both hate this girl, Nicole, right? Okay. She does all the cleaning, and she gets onto them all the time for like leaving their clothes out and not washing their dishes. She's very unpleasant to be around. You can tell the time isolated in the house is like really getting to her, and she's like lashing out at people. So Mike Boogie has a brilliant idea. Very easy. Okay, we put Nicole up, and we put the lovable, wonderful Cheryl the MILF up next to her. Okay.
Now Cheryl the MILF, what was her deal?
You'll never believe this. You'll never believe this.
Was she an attractive older woman?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. That's crazy,
wow.
Right? Now, I would have more to say about her. However, we'll see where this story goes.
Right.
Mike Boogie has this easy plan. All right. If you went into this game with no playbook, this might be one of the first things you come up with. I want to get this person out. I will put her up next to someone who everybody likes for eviction. And of course, since we have to spend all summer here, they will vote out the unpleasant person.
Right.
Keep the really nice person, and everyone thinks I'm great and that this was a great idea, and we all have a great day.
Make it an easy choice.
Make it an easy
What do you
choice.
want for dinner? Pork chops or a pile of shit?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to pick pork chops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So easy. We run this down the middle. Okay. Now, something very interesting happens.
Okay.
Nicole goes to all of her friends and says, "Hey, these two, Chilltown," and they had got a third at this point, a woman named Shannon who was romantically attracted to Will.
Oh.
So they've got a group of three, very open.
Chilltown.
She goes to all the other people in the house and she's like, are you really gonna let these three like clowns go all summer and just vote you out? Like, is
Are you gonna let Chilltown take away your rights to vote?
From Mike Boogie, the rapping bartender?
Mike Boogie, aka Dick Cheney, just devalue your democratic system so much.
Oh my God.
Are you gonna let that happen?
And
wow. So is it Carol or Cheryl?
Cheryl.
So Cheryl's trying to unionize the rest of the.
No. I'm sorry. This is Nicole doing this.
Nicole.
Cheryl's the MILF. Yeah.
And I hate that word, but if that's what she's known as,
when she gets introduced at the beginning, she's known as like the hot mom.
Yeah.
When she comes in, everyone's like, "Wow, Cheryl's so attractive. She's so hot," and you don't really learn anything else about her because Nicole is actually incredibly successful and flips the entire house on Mike Boogie, voting out the very nice, lovable MILF week 1.
So before we could even learn what else she was, besides an attractive older mom,
she's gone.
Maybe she had an actual warm and charming personality.
She could have studied in Sweden or something.
Yeah.
She could have known a prime minister from a foreign country. No.
Maybe she was a Nazi.
No. She might have been Von Cheryl before she had to change her name.
What's weird is her name's Cheryl Von MILF. And then as she was fleeing the Nazis, her family had to change the name. But we don't know. What's interesting now is like, even though she almost certainly was not a Nazi then, you'd think that as time,
oh yeah, probably.
You think that as 20 years came and went, that it would be less likely that she would become a Nazi. But
no,
it's actually becoming easier.
This is suburban white mother. She almost certainly. If I had to,
she dabbled at.
If I had to bet money where she was January 6th, 2020, I would say in Washington D.C. I think it's the safe bet. I don't know. Maybe this is.
We're completely speculating here. I don't even know who this person is. I only just heard her name. So.
Cheryl, if you
don't
have a problem,
take this as slander towards.
If you have a problem
Cheryl
with what we're
Big
saying, DM me at my Twitter. That's at Subway Canada.
Subway Canada.
Yeah, that's the official Big Brother
Eat Fresh
Twitter account.
But yeah, no, we're just joking. I'm not accusing anyone of being a Nazi until we get to the Andrew Tate episode.
Yeah, and then we are. That'll be way easier.
I'll throw those out like they're fucking candy.
We've introduced a very interesting thing happening. Week 1, it is not safe, no matter who you are, to go on the block as a pawn, because a pawn might go home.
Absolutely.
To this day, that is a saying that everyone says. They get nervous about going up on the block, no matter how many friends they have. They say, hey, the pawn goes home in this game. I'm very afraid, right? It establishes this week, the very first week that we ever have.
So Nicole busted up the Chilltown Triforce, the Chilltown Union.
Yeah, the Monopoly.
The Monopoly.
She forms a group of all the rest of the people.
Get out of here with your special interest fucking campaign donations. You decrepit fuck.
She's like, you weird West Coast doctors bringing your strange California values.
Wait, what? I was talking about special interests like Dick Cheney's fucking private military war machine that he has. And you're just like, yeah, no, celebrities and their politics. And I'm like, no. Dick Cheney is a war profiteer.
Oh, God. And, we are not accusing Dick Cheney.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So anyway, Chilltown tried to... I can't believe I'm even calling them that, but
that's Chilltown, their name. Chilltown. Chilltown,
Boogie,
USA.
Mike Boogie of Chilltown.
Yeah, of Chilltown fame.
Plan didn't go as planned.
Goes horribly awry. And now Nicole has gathered up all the rest of these people who are getting really annoyed with these two clowns, and one of them's girlfriend, and they form a group called TOP, which stands for The Other People. Now, this alliance, being 10 minus 3, 7 people, is a huge group, and fractures almost instantly.
Of course.
Also...
Wait a minute. A group of friends on a reality television show fall apart?
I know. Hey, stop me if you've heard this one
Sir.
before. I haven't even got to the part where a guy got ejected for holding a knife to a woman's throat.
I want to say it's Andrew Cobra Tate, but...
you would... This person actually...
It's a good guess.
It looks a lot like him. They could be... there was a... So... The game started with 12 contestants, but within the first 2 weeks, one of the guys, his name was Justin Seebeck, I believe. He's this New Jersey dude. He always talks about how he has like 10 girlfriends, and he like gets into fights with people. He about beats up another guy. He is drunk in the kitchen with another woman, another contestant named Krista, and he's like holding a knife to her throat. And he this is, classic flirting. These are the tricks Cobra Tate won't tell you. He's like holding a knife up to her throat, and he's like, would you be mad if I killed you right now?
Oh.
Answer to which is, no, can't be mad if you get killed.
That was her answer, or that's your answer?
That's my answer.
What was her answer?
She giggled and said no. She giggled and said no, or something like that. I can't remember what. She was very intoxicated at the time.
Oh.
At that point, they call him. They're like, hey, man, you got to go to the diary room. The producers have like microphones set up throughout.
Yeah.
And they like escort him out.
There's a walk-in closet where they have to go do their testimonials.
Yeah. They walk him out, and they're like, you can't play the game anymore.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You can't cause physical harm to people on the set. You can't even off camera. You can't threaten people with knives.
And like,
you're lucky we're just kicking you off set and not taking you to fucking prison, you psycho.
He probably went to prison later.
I mean,
they like interviewed him afterwards. The host. This never happens to anyone that gets kicked off the show, but they, for some reason, they gave him an interview, and the host Julie Chen was like, hey, like, why were you like, why were you doing that? And he was like, guys, it was a joke. I can't believe you guys didn't get it. It's like,
it's just a prank, bro.
Of course she'd be mad if I killed her. No, you can't think I was being serious.
It's just a prank, bro. I'm imagining this guy getting coached by his lawyer. He's like, say it back to me. Say it back. It's just a prank, bro. If the prank don't fit, you must quit.
I think he had a really weird sense of humor because, like, one of the first things he says in the entire show is, I'm from Newark, New Jersey, the place where everyone gets shot. So, maybe he just had a rough upbringing and people joked about knives a lot when he was a kid.
Yeah.
It's like a very common form of Newark, New Jersey humor no one talks about.
I feel like I think he was just
goofing, just a little goofing.
I was gonna say like, yeah, Newark's a rough town, but I mean, I think more people get shot in Camden.
Oh, hot take.
At least
Camden, you're on notice.
They've been on notice for a long time.
Mike Rinaldi is coming to get you.
No, I mean, I think just like the murder rate has been putting them on notice for a long time. I don't know. Maybe they've turned it around. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
So it's just like, compared to the first season, this is all incredibly explosive television. People are going nuts over this because this is absolutely insane.
That is fucking insane. Yeah. That's the kind of shit that actually might get me to watch reality TV, but like I feel like I'm so familiar with the patterns and tropes of like the storylines that they push on all these reality TV shows that it basically just feels like a worse sitcom sometimes.
I could see why you would think that, but like
it's always the cycles are always very, very similar.
I don't know. I feel like, especially with earlier seasons when production was a little more hands-off, that there's a lot of like very valuable and beautiful human interaction that goes on in the house, even in the midst of like a game and like people are joking around and screwing around all the time. I think a lot of very tender and like touching moments happen.
So in the majority of highly staged, highly outlined reality TV, you think that Big Brother season 2 is on the more authentic side, as far as like
do.
Less of it is scripted?
I do. And you know what? I don't have... So this is something that I think about a lot, especially about the old seasons. So obviously there's live feed cameras that run 24/7, and the older the seasons are, that old footage is gone. It's completely gone. Yeah. So I don't know how much production edited, and I don't know how it was edited, like all this footage. It could be that I'm completely off base and production was more heavy-handed in the old days, and I'll never know because I can't go see that live footage anymore. It's gone. It'll never be back, But I think, like, I'll give you an example, okay? 2 contestants who are part of Top. Their names are Kent Blackwelder and Bunky Miller, okay? I know. It's very funny. Just
Bunky Miller literally sounds like a sitcom character.
It does. I realize that now as I'm saying it. It's a very sitcomish name.
Move over, Punky Brewster.
It's time for Bunky Miller.
Bunky Miller.
That's...
Their catchphrase is not, it's Miller time, though. It's Bunky time.
It's Bunky hour.
The time for Bunky is at hand.
So stupid. Fucking Christ.
I'm gonna get it some more water.
Okay. Yeah. Water.
It's the water of life.
It is.
And it is also
It is also the Bunky hour. I love Bunky. Bunky's like one of my favorite contestants from this season.
Forming a new alliance called Bunktown.
It's Bunktown, baby.
You gotta say it like this.
Hey, Bunktown. Holy cow.
Don't mind that. It was just a can of water hitting another can of water.
Fizzy fermented water.
Mm-hmm.
You are gonna bleep the part where I said it.
If you ask me to, I will.
need you to look me in the eye and say that you're gonna bleep that part, please. It's very important to me.
If you'd like me to bleep it, I will bleep it.
I
will bleep it.
I need you to bleep that, okay?
I will bleep it.
I can't.
I think we have a strong case for satire, but yeah, sure. I think our case is pretty strong.
I just don't want when I inevitably get killed by the state, I don't want Tucker Carlson.
Do you?
I don't want Tucker Carlson to be pulling that shit up. Like, this guy was a bad egg. Okay.
He said he wanted to kill the FBI. I don't know why he wants to do that. I'm just asking questions wearing a fucking stupid bow tie.
Now tell me why the radical left could threaten state agents.
Tell me why the radical left wants to cancel Bunky Hour. When I grew up, it was all about bunk time.
Now they want to take that away from you.
You punch out of your shift at some sort of local factory, I assume, and you go to bunk hour.
But now they want to call it the Bunky they them time period. Another ridiculous Marxist idea.
You know what? I'm never going to miss an opportunity to pitch this idea I had. You know how everyone's like, ooh, how are they going to fit the Punisher into the new MCU? Like, how are they going to... Netflix's Punisher was too violent. And I'm like, oh, I know how. Pair him up with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange tries to help... The Punisher's stuck in a time loop. And Doctor Strange is there to try to get him out. Doctor Strange tells him, look, the only way you're going to get out of this loop is if you do things differently. You can't do the thing that you want to do every time. And that thing he wants to do is the Punisher is stuck in a time loop where at the end of every day, he murders Tucker Carlson.
And the Punisher's
and
like,
Doctor Strange is like, for whatever reason, Doctor Strange is just like, the only way you can break out of this time loop is if you don't kill him. And Punisher just won't do it.
Yeah. He's like, no, absolutely not.
He refuses to not do it.
Absolutely not. I will not let this...
Yeah. I don't know how that one's going to end. I
think
want it to end.
I think that is the end.
Every episode is a different rigmarole that he goes through
to
eventually
kill Carlson. Fucking Jesus.
And that way, like, it's episodic. Like, if you missed last week's episode, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not missing anything because he relives the same day over and over.
The plot never advances. He just gets angrier about it.
He just gets more creative in the ways that he does it. That's my Marvel. You can make the check out the cash. Make it out to Boogie Mike.
Make it out to Bunky time.
Boogie Mike and the Bunktown gang.
Make it out to the Bunky they them time period.
Yeah. Fucking Carlson.
Oh God. Okay.
Anyway,
so
we're back.
Sincere human storytelling. Okay.
Yes. More authentic, less
scripted
storylines.
So one of the first things you learn about Kent Blackwelder, he is the year's 2001. He's a super huge Ronald Reagan guy. He's about 46 at the time the show started, I think. He's a huge Republican. A lot of the Republican talking points from 2001 are just like things he believes and says, right?
That he won't just say what he'll do, that he'll do what he says.
Yeah, also no new taxes if you read his lips. So he
really hates walls.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't
hates walls, loves David Hasselhoff. Don't get it.
Yeah, the Republican platform's really flipped since Gorbachev.
Yeah, now they love walls.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about a flip-flopping.
So you don't like walls, but you do when they're over here. Yeah, okay. So Bunky is a gay guy. He's married to another man. I don't know
Bunky Miller, cool.
Yeah, Bunky Miller. He's in love with this guy, and he comes into the house, and he doesn't tell anyone he's gay. He stays closeted, until people figure it out. People do eventually, because in his suitcase, he's got like a rainbow pride flag he brought with him or something, and people see it.
He's waiting for the right moment to display it.
He tells a couple people who he gets a good vibe from.
Right.
Tells a girl named Autumn, but she is evicted pretty early into the season, so he doesn't really have anyone. Gotcha. Now, one of the first things Kent says to Bunky when they start the show is like, "Man, I hate how they're normalizing gay people, man. It used to be that we would call these people like sickos and weirdos and freaks, and now you check the media and it's like, oh, an alternative lifestyle." And Bunky, he just has to nod along and listen to this guy shit on him, right? Because
for 20 years ago, that seems pretty extreme.
I think so, but I don't know. Will and Grace wasn't on for another year, right? And
True.
Then gay marriage was not even for another decade.
True.
So this was the thing. The Republicans were trying to stop gay marriage from happening at this point, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I don't have great memories from that time period. I just assume based on what he's saying. And Bunky, despite the fact that he has to listen to this guy just say all this monstrous, awful, hateful shit to him, it's like, if you don't keep your cool, you're potentially losing $500,000.
Sure.
So you just have to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
That's an awful position to be in. It's not a position anyone should be in, but...
You're weighing your financial future against your pride against this one piece of shit.
Yeah, it's a life-changing amount of money, and like God only knows what kind of like debt or problems or like who knows what kind of stuff he had coming in.
Absolutely.
And you have to live with that, not only knowing that this dude just said this to you, no repercussions, but it got broadcast on national TV.
Yeah,
it was terribly hard for Bunky.
I don't know how. Like, so much respect for people who have to deal with that on a regular basis, because like, dude, I lose my temper when people are rude to me at a restaurant. Like when I'm at work and a customer is rude to me, I lose my fucking shit. So like, God bless you, fucking patient, proud motherfuckers.
It's incredible.
Like,
but Bunky and Kent become close friends. They are so alike.
Really?
Yeah, they are so alike, and eventually,
despite one thinking the other is
an abomination. Yeah. And
wow.
But eventually, word spreads around the house that Bunky's gay.
He's gay.
And Kent, he doesn't take it super well at first,
right?
But like eventually, he's just like, I like you. Like, they poke fun at each other. He'll call Bunky like a homo, and then Bunky will be like, oh, shut up, you like old coot, or something like that. It's not like equivalent or whatever, but like, right. It seems like they've reached some sort of camaraderie. Yeah. They sleep in the same room. They hang out all day together. Like, it's incredible. Like, and it's so cool over the course of this to see like these prejudices that Kent brings in with him and tries to get people to like validate as soon as he's in here, and they just kind of melt away as soon as he meets one gay guy that he likes. Yeah. It's really cool. I think it's incredible.
Well, I mean, honestly, that's probably the first fucking gay person he's ever actually met and gotten to know.
Probably.
Like, he's the majority. This is not a stat. I have no idea. I'm pulling this. This is speculation, but I imagine that the majority of people who have prejudices against entire groups of people don't know anyone from that group in any meaningful way.
Probably
not. And have never taken the time to give it a shot.
Probably not. Yeah. And in Kent's normal life, when he says these things to people, they can just leave. They're not locked in a house with him.
Yeah.
If you can't escape, you're forced to like be friends with these people. You're forced to maintain like a civil, non-fighting atmosphere, or everyone's going to be fucking miserable, right?
Yeah, right.
So like, while I wouldn't advocate that everyone breaks down the prejudices of people like this because someone could be put in danger.
Right.
In this situation, it created like a beautiful, heartfelt thing that was like very touching. Yeah. It was so nice.
Huh.
Yeah. And like, so like in some ways, like it is so much more meaningful than any story that a writer for a serialized TV show could tell to me, because this is like real people. These were, and they, in some sense, they were aware that they were like on camera. A lot of things were. Right. They're probably they're under a lot of stress because they're locked in a house, and the weight of a $500,000 like mistake is always weighing on your mind. Right. So of course they're not acting like normal.
It's hard to truly be 100% yourself when you know the world is watching.
Exactly.
So,
and like,
I wonder how old Kent's doing these days.
He's dead. Yeah, he died.
Tight. What? I don't.
No, yeah, but he and Bunky remained friends for the rest of their life. And then he died, I think, of like a heart attack or something. It's listed on the Wikipedia page.
So he never got to go to January 6th.
He never got to attempt a coup.
He never got to attempt a coup. He never got to wear animal skins on his head and carry around a totem.
Oh, God.
He never got to piss on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
He so would have.
He would have done it, and while he was doing it, he would have been like, "This is for Bunky. This is for Bunky, you old abomination. You."
They're trying to change it to Bunky, they, them hour. Holy cow.
Well, okay, so that's cool. It's cool that that these people who would not have ever gotten along, that's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
They were complete fucking on opposite side. Basically could have been bitter enemies.
Yeah, they were besties, absolute besties. They remained besties for like the remainder of Kent's life.
Bunktown.
Bunk
City.
New
Bunk City.
New Bunkington. New Bunkington.
Well, that's cool. All right, so that all right. I'm with you. I can see how, especially at the time, this is compelling television. This feels way more real than what the majority of reality TV shows accomplish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like people over the course of the game, people do absolutely like bananas things, all to like make the right people pissed off, or to do things that they think would get them further in the game.
Sure.
For instance,
all kinds of hijinks, tactics.
Yeah,
skullduggery.
They were not. There was no playbook this early in the game.
Yeah.
So people didn't really know the right ways to do that.
They were just kind of throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah, the shotgun approach. Dr. Will's girlfriend in the house, Shannon, part of Chilltown, famously, is this going to be a problem? This is going to come up a lot.
I'm sorry.
This is going to come up a lot. You know that?
Because it sounds like they're on a fucking podcast.
All the way
that's
up,
what it sounds
all
like.
the way up to season like 18. This is going to come up. So. Just get used to the phrase Chilltown.
It wasn't a one and done season thing? Chilltown became a staple?
Chilltown, they both played
like
together.
The NWO
they both play together.
WCW?
They both play together again in 7. One of them plays in 14, and then a guy that played with Boogie in 14 plays again in 18.
And they all bring back Chilltown.
Yeah. Every time.
Fun.
Incredible.
But nobody brought back Bunk Hour.
no one remembers Bunky. Everyone remembers Mike Boogie, who's here to say things. Where's the justice, America?
The time for Bunk is at hand.
Make it make sense.
The designated Bunk period is here.
So, like, Shannon very famously takes one of the other contestant, Hardy's electric toothbrush, and brushes the inside of the toilet with it.
Classic.
To piss him off.
Classic hijinks.
She puts it back, and then the producers like immediately call her into the room, and they're like, "You can't try and get a guy sick. That's like bioterrorism.
That's how people get.
And then she's like this big like ripped bodybuilder woman.
Okay.
And then she has to go.
So a MILF. So she's Cheryl the MILF again.
Muscles I'd like to fuck. She goes. They have this talking to her, and she goes out. She's this like very tall, very jacked woman. She has to go like a dog with her tail tucked between her legs, get his toothbrush, walk it over to him, and be like, "So
I'm sorry, I tried to put shit in your mouth."
She lied to it. She lied. She was like, "I tried to mess with your toothbrush, but I ended up dropping it and breaking it. So like they're gonna get you like a new one, but they told me I had to tell you." So,
but she lied. About
she totally lied. And then they talked to him in the diary room, and he's like,
accidentally dropped your toothbrush in the toilet, and then I accidentally flushed it, and then it accidentally went around the lip several times before I fished it out. I'm sorry.
They talked to him in the diary room after, and he's like, "Yeah, nothing she told me made sense. I have no idea what she did, but they're going to get me a new toothbrush, so I'm not going to ask questions, and I'm just going to get her voted out."
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, this very funny thing was happening in the game where Nicole and Hardy, the woman who was put up week 1 but stayed, and then Hardy, this guy, were absolutely running the house. They both had head of household 3 times apiece, I think.
Wow.
Every week they put up people they didn't like. Voted them out. They were absolutely running this game, and they were completely untouchable. Because they both won HOH, they would never put the other up. It was an incredibly dominant performance, but mostly because
that's some Michael Jordan shit.
Right? The contest,
Michael Jordan of petty household thieves.
weird like tasks. The competitions that they would hold were such that if you just had like a tiny amount of hand-eye coordination and thought about it a little bit, you could like dominate these like 40-year-olds.
So give me an example of what are some of the types of competitions that they went through to become head of household.
Oh, this is great. I'm going to tell you.
Give me some examples.
I'm going to tell you some stuff. Remember, I need you to remember production values were low. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Obviously.
They laid out a giant map of America, and then they held trivia about states. They would say like, 3 house guests are from this state, and you stood up on a big lifeguard chair with an RC car controller, and you had to drive your RC car to the right state on the big map from your lifeguard chair, and you could like bump other people's cars and shit. It's really funny.
And I'm sorry, the goal was to
you had to like drive your car to like
so someone's
North
like,
Carolina.
"Where's Boogie Mike from?" And you have to drive your car to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then somebody could bump you off in New Jersey?
Yes.
It doesn't make you wrong.
No. If your car is not on you in New Jersey, you're wrong.
Okay.
You have to get your car to the right state.
Wow.
They had one where
Fuck you, he's not from Delaware, asshole.
They had one where
Learned how to drive.
they took a plastic mixing bowl and they pushed it across the pool so it would float slowly across the pool, and they just handed you a stack of CDs and you had to throw the CDs in the pool into the bowl.
Why CDs?
No.
Surely there's a cheaper alternative.
No, absolutely not.
Were they like
CDs.
the blank writable ones that you can get that like are 99 cents each? Like,
I
you
assume
get a big
so.
pack of them for like in 2001.
Incredible.
Actually, in 2001 that shit was probably expensive.
Probably.
2001.
They're just like throwing them into the plastic mixing bowl of the pool. And someone had to clean that up. All the CDs that just fell in the water. Yeah. Someone had to like clean that.
Well, the iPod, I think has like only just come out in 01.
Yeah.
So like CDs were still selling.
They were
selling hard even because there was no good way to get music for your iPod without stealing it.
That's true.
Like iTunes was like, who the fuck wants to I don't want to put my credit card online and pay at $2 a song or whatever the fuck they were charging. Even back then, it was like $1 a song, and
That's weird.
Yeah. So
no, in the pool.
It was just like, no, we got fucking LimeWire. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it up.
Yeah. So really, if you think about it, they weren't wasting anything important. It's all gonna go on your LimeWire.
I'm just saying, like, how
iPod.
There's other. Why not Frisbees?
That's a great question.
Like, you can go to a beach store and get that shit.
Ask Arnold Shapiro.
So cheap.
Ask Arnold Shapiro, the producer of Big Brother, in 2001.
Why not fucking quarters?
I don't know. I do not know. I can't tell you. I can't give you a reason why they chose this. It doesn't make sense to me either.
Something that won't be destroyed if it hits the water. Like if a frisbee hits the water, it still works. But like, no, one and done. We'll never be able to use this for anything else.
I think the prize had to do with like CDs. Like you got like a CD player or something.
Okay, but you could still give that prize out.
Yeah.
Without your prize is one CD. Meanwhile, I just wasted 25.
You could have practiced coming into the house throwing a frisbee. I guarantee you, no one's practiced throwing CDs.
You know how many fucking banger fucking mixtapes you could have burned on those CDs?
They're not throwing them.
Yeah, they are. You said they're throwing them into a bowl. Yeah.
God.
I'm just like, they're like, we need to keep the budget down. Okay, let's buy a thing that will be immediate, that we can never use again except to throw.
They also had like food competitions they had to do. So instead of doing the competition where they bet their food budget, the new competition was the entire household does one competition, and if you win, you all get groceries for the week. If you lose, you all have to eat peanut butter and jelly and water
for a week
for the whole week.
Yeah,
it's not.
That was pretty much my entire high school.
This becomes way worse.
Like Wendy's.
They make that way harder in later seasons. They end up changing what you get put onto, but in the early seasons it's just like you got to eat peanut butter and jelly. And some people are like, "Oh man, I hate peanut butter and jelly." It's like, bro, you're gonna get $500,000 if you just shut up. Oh no, I've got this opportunity to win $500,000. They're making me eat bad food.
It's not even bad. It's actually fine. It's totally fine. Peanut butter and jelly, it's the most popular.
Yeah, I never got the complaining about peanut butter and jelly. One competition they made
Sorry guys, we can't afford groceries, but I can afford to throw up 99 CDs into a swimming pool.
Mike Boogie misspelled baked beans during the food competition, but did land 4 CDs in the bowl.
Wow. Good for Mike Boogie's good at breaking shit.
There was one
New Jersey.
There was one competition Mike Boogie lost because the tiebreaker question at the end was how much money did it cost to buy groceries for the week for the 10 people that were in the house at that point, and he put like $110.
10 people?
And everyone was like, "Boogie, don't you fucking own a restaurant?"
Even in fucking 2001 dollars, dude, Jesus.
They were talking to people afterwards. They were like, "This guy owns a restaurant. Owns it. Owns a restaurant. Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm never going to eat for him. He's going to serve us like cement and asbestos powder."
Yeah.
$100.
You're just gonna get a hamburger and it's just gonna have a blank CD instead of a beef patty. We replaced the burger with a CD because we're just wasting shit. Next week, the special, we're also going to replace the buns with CDs as well.
Feed you for under $100. It's called the Mike Boogie Challenge.
Absolutely.
It's called the Mike Boogie Challenge.
And Tucker Carlson's not here for it.
He hates it.
Fuck off.
Oh God, it's so good. Some like other things that continue to happen through later seasons start happening now. First off, people get super mad when the person that they want evicted or they want to win gets evicted.
Yeah.
Things like that. People start getting like super invested because the show is really popping off.
Talking about audiences.
Yes,
okay, yeah.
they do. So during one competition where it's an endurance competition, and this was one of the nicest endurance competitions ever, they set everyone down on a bed. And you can't go to sleep, but you just don't take your hand off of the big thing we have. Their stage prop, right?
Sure. It's a giant rewritable CD.
It's actually a giant wheel that
dripping wet with chlorinated pool water.
It's a wheel that you stick keys into. That's part of their ceremonies and stuff. I'll go into it on another episode. But
it's a key wheel.
Yeah, don't take your hand off the key wheel. It's like hands on a hard body, right?
Yeah, I understand the game. I don't understand the objects.
I'll explain the key wheel on a later season. There's so much to go over in this one. I can't get over all the mainstay shit.
Okay, so last person.
Someone paid a plane to fly over with a banner that was like supposedly from Nicole's husband, and it was like, "Nicole, I hate you, you cheating bitch. I'm breaking up with you."
A fan paid for this, you mean? An audience member, someone sitting at home watching Big Brother is just like, you know those planes you see at the beach? Yeah. How do they even know where the Big
Tell her she's a lying whore.
Oh my God. Did it fly by that Big Brother house?
Yeah, it flew straight over.
Do they even tell the audience where the house is?
No, it's in CBS Studios. So if you own a business in the city and you know where CBS Studios is, you can advertise.
So they actually build the house inside the studio.
Yeah, it's like deep in the studio too. It's like you can't. I've seen pictures that like show it from the outside, and there's like a big ass like lake and two fences in between. Like,
you think it's cheaper to build a house inside your studio or to just rent a house?
If you rent a house, being in the studio prevents a lot of the very easy forms of audience interruption, right? Yeah. People can't like break in.
Right, if they find out where it is, they can just walk up through the lawn or whatever. Whereas CBS Studios, like, you got to get through security.
Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. But you can fly a plane over.
Plus, it's easier to like ensure, like, you can keep everything. Safety codes and all that. All right, fine. Okay, fine.
It's such a good idea.
Now, did they build a new house every year, or is they
no? They just renovate it. Yeah,
okay.
They renovate it every year. Yeah. No. I mean, like they do it big. Like in the earlier years, it was like a new paint job and stuff. Yeah. In the later years, once the budget starts getting really big,
like full redesigns.
There's like themes for the season, and it'll be in the decor. It gets really cool. But yeah, people are like flying planes. This happens all the time.
So how did that affect the? Holding your hand on the thing.
She got crazy upset and lost almost immediately. She was like in tears.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, of course. I gotta
think though, like how well do you know your partner? Like, if I saw a plane fly by right now that said "fuck you, Mike," I don't want to be here anymore. Get off. I'd be a little suspicious. I'm like, I don't see her renting a plane. To tell me this.
I'd be like, no shot. But I mean,
I feel like a text message would have sufficed.
But earlier that week, she had like. She'd been like flirting with Hardy in a hot tub or something like that. It didn't get broadcast. It was like a live feed thing.
Right. They don't record those.
So like maybe she was like self-conscious about it when she saw the banner and like thought that like maybe
she had a little twinge of guilt maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But still, like,
she freaked the hell out over it.
Sky banner?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we don't know her partner at the time, right? Maybe he was like the kind of guy that does crazy shit.
Fucking circus promoter. Yeah.
Sky banner.
Yeah. She's like, no, this is on brand for
her.
Him.
Husband was actually named D.B. Cooper, the Phantom of the Skies.
She was like, no, actually, that actually might be him. He's a crop duster. He flies single engine prop planes, often dragging things behind him.
The funny part, that wasn't even the funny part. The funny part was after she let go, they didn't stop the competition.
It doesn't end until there's only one person left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There were 3 people holding on, and Dr. Will, he didn't want to win. He just wanted her to lose.
Yeah.
So after she like parades off in tears, crying, he's like, "I'm done." They would offer Temptations every now and again to like get you to let go. And like he was
like,
just,
hey, who wants a stack of rewritable CDs that you can hurl into the pool on the house?
They gave him almost exactly that. She goes off, and then he's like, all right, next temptation, I'm letting go.
Oh my God.
And the person comes up and is like, okay, it's a mystery box. You don't know what you get. And he's like, okay. And they give him a big, like a human-sized prop jar of peanut butter that they used for a competition. And he was like, yeah! Just starts like flinging it. Meanwhile, Nicole's in the back like breaking down in tears. He's like, yay!
This guy's going fucking nose deep into a jar of peanut butter.
Peanut butter. No, it's like plastic. There's nothing in it. He's just like
it's a
he's
prop.
just like
Okay.
yeeting it everywhere. He's throwing it everywhere. It's so funny. He like breaks it immediately because he like throws it up in the air.
Good Lord. All right. So bring it home for us.
Okay. We're down to the final 3. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, at final 4, 9/11 happened.
Happened mid-season.
It's
It's right, 'cause it
mid-season.
started in July.
They started in July. 9/11 happened
right.
in the final 4. One woman had a cousin who was at the Twin Towers who was missing at the time that they told them.
Fuck.
And
That'll
you
get
could
your-
tell
that'll
her.
get your hand off the key wheel.
You
pretty
could
fast.
tell that her heart was not in it after that.
Yeah.
And she got like taken out. She got like evicted that week. Yeah. I feel really bad for her. That sounds awful. You're on a TV show
Yeah.
and like you still have to weigh this 500,000 fucking decision.
Personal and national tragedy happens
Yes.
to you. That's
So she gets taken out that week. We're at final 3. We are at Nicole, Dr. Will, and who was the last one? It was
Wait, so Nicole outlasted all of Chilltown?
just Dr. Will. He was the only one that outlasted her.
Oh, wow.
Hold on, I have to look up who got 3rd place because my memory is.
I feel like Nicole. I want the image. Even though I've never seen these people, I want to get a hand drawn painting of Nicole standing Captain Morgan style on Mike Boogie's fucking passed out corpse.
Probably exists somewhere, but I got my timeline a little wrong. The lady who had her cousin die in 9/11, she was taken out at final 3. So they do the final competition. Nicole wins, right?
So the last 2 is Dr. Will and Nicole?
Yes.
Okay.
So she gets the decision. She's going to the finals. Yeah. She gets the decision of who she wants to take with her and who the last person evicted is. She evicts Monica, who was the lady whose cousin died in 9/11. She takes Dr. Will because Dr. Will was a huge lying turd to everyone the entire season.
So she's like, they're going to clearly vote him out.
Yes.
Right.
He connived. He lied to everyone. He intentionally threw every single competition so that he was never head of household.
Yeah.
Because he thought that voting was better than being head of household.
You have more power.
Yeah. So he would do things like tell people like, all right, don't vote me out this week. Next week, I'll try and get HOH and keep you safe. Or next week, I won't get HOH, but I'll vote to keep you in. And then he would just lie to him every time.
He's playing 3 or 4 moves ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was
but
like,
they were all bluffs.
Basic, yeah, and or just outright lies. Outright
That's
lies.
what a bluff is. A bluff is a lie.
Yeah.
A bluff is a lie in a game.
Yeah, it was incredible, but like everyone believed him every single time. They never put
They
the
just thought he
pieces
was
together.
really bad at throwing CDs into
This
balls.
guy screwed me over 2 weeks ago, but this time
like-
it'll be fine.
Like, oh, I'm gonna try to get head of household. These CDs aren't flying right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He threw every competition. He didn't evict anyone. He didn't win any challenges. She takes him to the finals. He gets up there and he says, all right, everyone, you're back. And I want you all to know that if you vote against me, you are voting against America. You are denying reality in front of your own faces. We all know that we were brought here to give me this money, and to say otherwise is to deny God in front of your very face. And then, like, she gets up and she's like, well, like, I won a bunch of competitions.
I'm really good at this game.
I'm really good. I directed the flow.
I
I knew who was going to get evicted every week, and I, like, controlled a bunch of votes.
So it's exactly like an American political election. It's one person up there being like, I can actually do the job. And then somebody else is going like, I'm God incarnate. I am fucking great.
And then
it's a classic Trump Clinton situation.
It's exactly.
Oh my
God. Julie comes out and she's like, all right, each of you pick one person and we'll take their vote away. And Nicole picks Shannon, Will's romantic partner from the show.
Chilltown, part of Chilltown.
Chilltown. And Dr. Will picks Bunky.
Bunky.
Because he knows Bunky and Nicole were close friends.
He said, bunk hour is over.
When I tell you this was an absolute slaughter, The vote was 7-2 for Dr. Will. Because everyone
7-2.
7-2. Everyone was like, "Hey, this lady, she evicted me, so I'm not gonna give her the money. Her or her best friend evicted me, so I'm mad at her. I'm not gonna give her the money. I'm gonna give the Dr. Will."
The balls on Dr. Will to just lose to fail upwards the whole time.
He didn't do anything. He just manipulated people.
Everyone kept him around because they're like, he's not a threat.
Yeah, he will never win.
Guess what?
Yeah, well, I didn't evict anyone, so they're not mad at me. Also,
nobody has a vendetta against him, even though he didn't follow through on any of the deals that he made.
Yeah. Also, like, people when they would get evicted, they don't like put you in a house. You can just go home and watch the show.
Yeah, you can keep watching.
So you go home and you see Nicole like in the diary room with Hardy, or like where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get this fucking bitch out of here."
Well, how much delay is there from shooting to publication?
Episodes that week are on a given week are from earlier in the week, so it's a less than 7-day turnaround. What? So you can just watch the whole season if you had a TiVo,
and you're only 1 week behind.
Yeah.
So you can get evicted, go home and watch the show, and you're watching yourself on last week's episode?
Yes.
Wow, that's fast.
People would go home.
That is fast turnaround.
They would see Nicole and Hardy conniving every week, and then they'd come out and they'd put a smile on.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, I regret that I have to evict you, Shannon. It really takes. I know I don't like to take this." And then Will would act like a complete turd, but then he would go into the diary room and he'd still act like a turd. And he was like funny. He was really funny and charming. They'd go and see him and they'd be like, "Oh, these guys were two-timing. This guy actually just was like the same guy."
So literally, they're like, they'd rather have the guy who's honest about being a piece of shit than the lady who is
way better at the game,
doing it and either pretending or being genuinely sad about it.
Yes.
I don't like that. As reality television, I love it, but
I mean, like, if you watch the season, it makes a lot of sense. He's like one of the only people coming in, like, thinking about his actions in the game and how they affect things. You know, everyone always tries to get head of household at competitions because it means you can't get voted out for the week. He's the only one.
It's instant gratification of I am here another week.
He's the only one who has the balls to say, like, if I can talk my way out of going on the block, I get to vote who stays here.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's thinking about the game in that way.
Yeah.
There was 1 week where he just convinced everyone. They had one groceries. He convinced them to go on a hunger strike for, like, their spiritual health. Because he's just
even though they had fully stocked kitchens.
Yeah, he's just like great at manipulating people. He's an incredible speaker. He's super charismatic. He would just go out and be like,
"Is he an actual doctor?"
Yes, he is a board certified dermatologist. He and Mike Boogie, when they would go on later seasons, they very obviously had like very good Botox done. It's like, oh, Dr. Will did this.
Dr. Will. Oh my God. What the fucking allegories are.
It's insane, right?
That's a Trump Clinton election.
But people
There's
learned.
this woman that people hate, even though she's good, even though she has experience,
yes,
and is capable. People don't fucking like
her. People hate her.
And then you get this fucking stumbling, bumbling piece of shit just rolls over and just goes, "Yeah, I'm a huge piece of shit. Who cares?" And they fucking throw their votes at her.
I'm the best. I'm addicted to winning.
Who the fuck cares
I'm a
how
doctor.
big a piece of shit I am?
I'm a doctor.
I'm better than her.
I'm a doctor, and I don't need the money.
I have no evidence to back up why I'm better than her.
I don't need the money. Give it to me anyway. She needed the money.
Fuck.
She was a personal chef, which makes way less than a doctor.
Personal chef?
She's a personal chef. That was part of why she stayed in so long, even though she was very unpleasant, because she cooked incredibly. Yeah. And people were just like, "I'm not going to vote out the cook. I hate it in here."
What am I going to sit here eat? She could probably make a peanut butter and jelly taste fucking good.
Yeah. So, like, people learn a lot.
You make a triple decker and you put it in a panini press.
Oh, my. Shut up about PB&J. People learned a lot from this season.
I know I'm harping on all the wrong things. I'm just like, CDs, really? You're over here trying to explain the plot of the show. I'm like, CDs, come on.
CDs?
Peanut butter.
Napster was out. Give him an iPod. No. So, people learned a lot from season 1. Number 1, you don't got to win competitions.
You don't.
Try if you need to. If you feel like you're in danger, try to win a competition. If not, maybe being a vote's better.
It's set the tone that losing HOH isn't always a bad thing.
Exactly.
In fact, sometimes
it's preferable.
it's a tactic.
Remember, I told you in season 1, you can try and rig the outcome of games.
Yeah.
People would go to insane lengths in later seasons to try and rig the outcome of games in very specific ways.
It's kind of like a Monopoly where like buying up all the cheap properties actually kind of the way to go.
Yeah.
Because you can get out ahead early and then you just fuck everyone over.
The second
Get
thing
a whole side of the board.
The second thing people learn
Monopoly.
is
Piece of shit.
I'm trying to move away from Monopoly because I'll just talk about game theory for another hour and I'll hate myself.
Game theory and American capitalism and how everyone missed the point. Yeah. Got it.
Number 2, Big Brother is not a game about who can win HOH and evict the most people. It is a game about convincing the majority of a jury to give you money. That is the entire game.
Yeah.
The part of the game is getting there.
So season 1 was a popularity contest with the audience at home.
Yeah.
Season 2 is a popularity contest with the other contestants.
Exactly.
Wow.
And the third big thing that people learned is if you're going to be in an alliance with someone, don't tell anybody.
Oh yeah.
Because
Don't call yourself Chilltown.
Mike Boogie and Shannon both went out very early.
Yeah.
Because people hated Chilltown.
No
Will
shit.
only got strung along because he was bad at competitions. So in almost every season after that, there are secret alliances. People won't tell each other they're working together because you're going to get targeted for it.
They don't even tell each other that they're working together? They
Yeah.
just kind of like assume that
They
the
like
other
wink
person
at each
knows?
other. Yeah. No, not like that. But yeah, this,
You know what? We need to get a game night going. I want to play one of those games where alliances form. Because those are my favorite games in the world.
they are.
I love them so much.
It's so good. But yeah, that's Big Brother 2.
Yeah.
There's also a lot I didn't get to cover because it's so dense I can't even begin to cover it in an hour.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's
But
an
like,
hour.
if I've interested you, the entire Big Brother series is on Paramount Plus. I'm not paid to say that.
We're not paid to say that. In fact, if there was a better way, we'd be telling you about it.
Yeah, I would never encourage you to go look online for it at places where you don't have to pay.
Yeah, don't
Do not.
pirate media. Don't do that. That's not what Bunky Hour is about.
Yeah, that's not what the Bunky Miller they them hour is here.
Don't illegally pirate all the seasons of Big Brother, burn them onto rewritable DVDs, and then throw them into a swimming pool for some kind of weird party game.
And then the ones that land you can keep, and then you get to vote out Kent Blackmore
Because he's fucking hates walls,
but
but also loves them.
loves walls.
But
I don't
also
get it. I don't get it.
You know what it is? He hates foreign walls.
Hates foreign walls.
He loves domestic walls.
He doesn't like walls if Gorbachev built them.
That's right.
Piece of shit, hypocrite.
Yeah. But he loves it when America uses American contractors who then pay the illegal aliens that the wall was meant to keep out
Cut
to
all
build
this.
the
This
wall.
is garbage. Cut all this. This is nothing. This is nothing.
It's
We're gonna get death threats
death from who?
from weird big. Bro, you have not seen Big Brother Twitter like I have. They go absolutely crazy.
If we get big enough that I'm getting death threats, I call that a win.
That's true. I don't want to be unalived by the federal government.
Plus, it'll give me a chance to throw the whole "I'm joking" back in their face.
You
It's just a joke.
hit them with
Don't be
the
so
just hit him
sensitive.
with the Justin Seebeck defense.
Don't be
It
so
was a
sensitive.
prank.
Don't be
Of course
so
she'd be
sensitive.
mad if I cut her throat.
I held a fucking carving knife up to a jugular.
I used to be a big piece of shit with slicked back hair.
I used to be a piece of shit. Oh, sloppy steaks, fucking chicken pasta, chicken. We're just doing bits now from other shows.
No sloppy steaks, guys. We're not gonna do nothing. We're not gonna do nothing. What are we gonna do?
That should have been a Big Brother thing. Instead of peanut butter jellies, they could only eat sloppy steaks
Sloppy
for a month.
steaks.
Sorry, your grocery budget. You just get
Ribeye and water.
You just get ribeyes and tap water.
So stupid.
Dude, we should take over Will's basement and do a Wizard House Big Brother. We should do it.
I'm telling you. I told you last time. I'll tell you again. Haley will mop the floor with us.
I bet you. I want to see it. I want to see her in action.
That's true.
Fucking dude, how much? I'll just take out a credit card. Get one of the ones that has like no interest for the first 18 months, and I'll just buy a bunch of fucking GoPros.
and rewritable CDs.
Rewritable CDs. Go down to a thrift store and just get. They don't even have to be rewritable. They can just be regular CDs.
Just bargain bin. I have
every single corn. If you find a corn one,
All right.
you get bonus points.
House guests.
Corn's worth 2, guys.
House guests. I have a giant mixing bowl and 32 copies of Jagged Little Pill.
Good Lord. All right, that has been episode 2 of Big Bother. We recapped the entire season 2 of Big Brother. I had a great time. It almost feels like I've watched the show. I'm now imagining what all these people look like. I almost don't want to see what they actually look like.
Oh, I can't show you pictures?
You can if you want. I feel like none of it's... So, for Shannon, I'm just imagining... because of the time period, 2001, and you said she was a very muscular bodybuilder. I'm just picturing Chyna from WWF. Because it's 2001.
She's maybe like 55% similar to Chyna from WWF. Okay, so here's Justin. He got expelled. Cheryl the MILF.
Is that a 2001 picture? Or is
Yeah,
that
these are all 2001 pictures.
Okay.
There's
I don't know how to say this without sounding like a huge piece of shit. I was expecting it to be milfier.
She has enormous tits.
Oh, well, there you go.
There's Autumn. She was known for crying all the time.
That'll get you a win.
Here's Shannon.
Okay.
Mike Boogie.
I was expecting more muscles.
Well, look at her fucking...
Oh, I guess I'm only looking at her
trap
neck.
muscles are enormous. Mike Boogie.
No, that's accurate.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking, right?
Hold on. Looks like every fucking... Does he own a restaurant? Are you sure he's not just a line cook?
No, he does.
Like,
he owned like
dude,
3.
Put a cigarette in one hand and a Monster Energy in the other, and that dude just pulled an 18-hour shift, fucking on a TGI Fridays fucking line.
He almost certainly came from a great family. He owned like 3 restaurants at age 30.
And yet, that's what he looks like.
There's Kent.
Oh yeah, no, that guy loves walls and hates gay people.
Yeah, for sure. Here we have Krista.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Mike Boogie proposed to her during the finale.
How'd that go?
She said yes.
How did that go?
They were divorced in under 6 years.
Not bad.
There's Bunky.
Bunky.
Love Bunky. He's like one of my favorites. There's Hardy.
Okay.
I think he won the most competitions.
He looks like...
He's a big dude.
Oh, you know what? I was just trying to think of who he looks like. He looks like... What's his fuck? The guy who was... Dean Cain. Looks like Dean Cain.
A little bit. Dean Cain-ish. There's Monica. Unfortunately, her cousin passed away in 9/11.
That's terrible.
While she was competing. It
Sorry
sucked.
for your loss.
I really hated it for her. It seemed like it would fucking killed her. There's Nicole.
Okay.
The personal chef. And here is Dr. Will.
Also weirdly kind of looks like Dean Cain.
Why do they all look like Dean Cain?
Because it was 2001.
That's fair. Fair.
Lois and Clark, I think, was just wrapping up or had just wrapped up.
God, they do look exactly
Dean Cain was
like...
at the height of his popularity.
They do look exactly like Dean Cain.
When he was playing,
I wish you hadn't told me that.
The height of Dean Cain's popularity was when he was playing Superman on that show, Lois and Clark.
I hate that you told me that. I
feel like that's the... Like, everyone remembers Smallville, but nobody talks about Lois and Clark.
Probably because it wasn't good.
I was too young to really know what the fuck was going on. I remember every time I turned it on, I'm like, oh, it's a Superman show. Why isn't he fighting anyone?
Why isn't Smallville not very good?
Why are they arguing about the groceries? He's Superman.
God, I gotta go to work, okay?
Yeah, that's it. That's episode 2. Like, share, subscribe. Watch the show.
Send
ours and theirs.
Send me money directly at Subway Canada.
No, don't send them money. Send them hate and vitriol.
Yeah, send your death threats to Subway Canada.
And as always on the Bunky Hour, eat fresh.
Fucking Christ.